In Chapter 6, we're going to take a look at some strategies for reading. So reading is thinking. Why do we read? To gain a greater understanding. So why read? When we read, we're able to connect, if you will, connect the dots. We gain a better understanding. We're able to make application of what we've read and actually turn it into something realistic through the application process, which ultimately leads to mastery. So in reading, we have two types of reading. We have pleasure reading and we have the have-to reading. As you can see, most folks view academic reading as have-to reading. It can actually be pleasure reading. It's really a matter of attitude and mindset. So, becoming an active reader, you need to know what your preferred learning style is. Set aside specific blocks of time to read. Goes back to that time management aspect we looked at earlier. Do you like it quiet or do you like noise when you're reading? Read the summary section first. It'll give you an overview of the particular chapter, and when you're reading, you can look for those specific ideas that were highlighted in the summary section. Take notes when you're reading. Write down specific questions that are keyed in your mind from the reading. Look up those words that you don't know. That will help expand your vocabulary. And you read to learn. When we make a connection, we're building a bridge from the new to the known, and we seem to pay attention more when we can relate specifically to a text, whether we have to relate our readings to ourselves or we can relate our reading to another text that we're familiar with, or if we can relate the reading to things that happen in the real world. Asking questions is important. You need to ask the question who, what, when, where, why, and how when you read. If you can answer all of these questions, you should have a pretty good understanding of what you just read. You need to expand your vocabulary. The larger your vocabulary, the easier it is to make sense of the text that you're reading. Language identifies professional knowledge, and depending on the specific discipline that you're pursuing, you're going to find a lot of unique language and words that are utilized in your particular discipline. So the academic teachings will help you gain a better understanding of the specific language that is used in your area or particular discipline. And professionals that are in your particular discipline know the language. So you need to have a better understanding of that unique language in order to communicate effectively with professionals that are currently serving in your discipline area. So you need to decide what chapter information is important. You have to separate the important from the trivial. With our reading skill strategy number 5, we are going to discuss summarizing and synthesizing. When we summarize, we bring those key themes or thoughts together. And when we synthesize, we're actually putting all of the pieces together, as the example says, in a jigsaw puzzle, so you can see the big picture or the entire concept. With strategy number 6, we want to check your understanding. If you don't understand, then you have to be confused. And if confusion gets in the way, if you continue, you're going to become more confused. So you need to stop and clarify the area that you don't understand. And again, if you don't understand, then learning can't take place if you don't understand. With strategy number 7, we're going to build subject mastery. This is where you're able to take the knowledge that you have and apply it in your personal life and your work setting. The application, the actual utilization in the real world leads to mastery. And in any profession or discipline that you're in, mastery should be your final goal. What if you don't like to read? Well, you need to find out why. And basically be honest with yourself. Reading is a critical skill for success. The more you read, the better you get at it. And no matter whether you look at the academic reading as pleasure or have to, it is time well spent.